Hey there, welcome to another episode of I Need That to Prep. This is Lisa Vargas, and we are going to be talking about survival food kits today. Those are those great things that you hear about all the time. There's so many out there on the market, and I just want to clear up some things and just talk a little bit about them today, because I think you probably have maybe you've read a lot about them, or maybe you are right now getting ready to buy some and you're not sure exactly of what you should buy, how much you should buy, maybe what they taste like, some of the pros and cons, and some things you should watch out for, those kind of things. So that's what I wanted to do today, is talk about that and make sure we go over some of that and just kind of share some of my thoughts. As you can see, I love survival food kits. I think they're awesome. That's one of the biggest advantages and why they're so popular among the prepping community, is because of the long shelf life that they have. They're almost 25 years. And they're freeze dried. So you just add water and they're good to go. So today we're going to talk about all that stuff. And so let's go ahead and get started, and make sure you subscribe below if you haven't yet. Would love to get your support to the channel. So, okay. So there are a lot of different choices for survival food kits. And today I have a couple brands with me, some of my favorites. I have readywise. It used to be called Wise Food Company, but then they changed to readywise, which is now changed as of just, probably a couple months ago. And then they have Augason Farms, which is a fantastic brand. There's other brands you've probably heard of. Mountain House is another big one. They do a lot of stuff. Mountain House is really well known in like the backpacking community. I'm a big backpacker, camper, and I first started out with freeze-dried foods, or my first experience with freeze-dried foods was with Mountain House. But then when I got into prepping, I realized it was a big market and there's a ton of different companies. So anyways, so I'll list some things down below so that you guys can see that. But let's go ahead and start off by talking about some of the things that, some of the types of these buckets you can buy. So when you first start looking at food kits, you're gonna wanna think about how much you're gonna need, okay? This is obviously gonna depend on several factors, such as how many people you have in your family, are they kids, what's the age, what's even the gender, male or female, because that's going to depend on the calorie count. And so there's a couple different things on that side of the house first to think about. If it's just you, it's a lot simpler. For me, it's simple because it's just me. I don't have kids. I don't have a big family. I don't have any family. I have a big family. My brother's got family and all that stuff. But for me, no, just me. But I just have to prepare for myself. And so I'm always looking at, single servings, thinking about my own calorie counts for the day. If you have 4 people in your family, your spouse, and 2 kids, obviously it's going to be much different. So what really is nice about these food kits is I wanted to start up here and point out that Augason Farms, and all of these will do that. I don't know if I have any readywise foods kits that do. All of these are going to have on their, you can buy them like either one person, it'll say 1-person emergency kit for 2 weeks, right? Or a 2-person emergency kit for 2 weeks, or right? It'll make life really simple for you. But one caveat I'm gonna share with you is the downfall, and you have to be careful, is a lot of these emergency food kits, if I was, and I don't know if it says, oh, it does say, on the back here, if you see, it's gonna give you all the nutritional values and nutritional facts in this kit per serving, okay? But I want to point something out, because you have to be careful. Their serving sizes can be very, very small, okay? And that's one of the cons about this. And I know, so for example, if you're a female, an adult female, like somebody like myself, I could live off 1,200 calories, right? If you're an adult male, you may be saying, hey, well, I need 2,200 or 2,500 calories or whatever that number is, somewhere around there, right? But you have to be careful because these serving sizes are a lot smaller, can be a lot smaller than that. So even though this says 2 weeks, it may be that you get through this pack sooner. So, and it's, I don't know if this is a good example. We could maybe find one down here or over here because, okay, so here's an example. And forgive me, this is going to be a little bit of a cluster, but over here on the readywise, or this is the old Wise company. You can see I've had these for a couple years, but this is a meat and poultry dried food pack, and it contains 60 servings. But what you need to think of, the first question that I always had when I started researching this stuff is, okay, so how many calories are in a serving, or what's a serving size, right? So, because if you look at this, 60 servings, okay, we're talking breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, okay, so this is meat and poultry, but if you're talking about an entree, which this one might be over here, is this entree? These are all entrees, I think. Yeah, if you have 60 servings, you're gonna eat, what, 3, you would think you want breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if you divide 3 by 60, you get 20 days of food. This technically could be only 20 days worth of food. But, so let's go back. Okay, so I'm gonna go on the back here. And it says serving size is 1/4 of a pouch. Servings per container is 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 24, 34. Yeah, so the thing is, you have to look at these and you have to really kind of think, is this really gonna last me what I need it to? Now, I wanna show you, so you get an idea, because you might have never seen what these look like outside of the box, right? Or outside of the plastic bucket. So let's get into one. This is a nice little pack. This is the new one. It's readywise. It's their adventure meals. Okay, this is more like backpacking stuff, you'll see, but look at these. Nice, right? So this is what they look like. They're freeze-dried foods. All you're doing is adding water to them, and then voila. Now, I'm gonna read you the nutrition facts on the back of this one. This has, serving size is 1 cup, and there's about 2.5 servings in this thing. There's 190 calories per serving, 480 calories in this whole thing. Now this is a creamy pasta and chicken with vegetables, okay? So this is great. Now, and there's some other videos I've done about bug out bags and things like that. These are great for bug out bags, get home bags, vehicles, any kind of emergency because of the light weight. These are very, very lightweight. They weigh 4.3 ounces. So these are one of those things that I always have in my bag because, you know, you never know. And they last forever. So I just wanted you to be able to see this. Now, this right here is 480 calories. This would be like a very light dinner for a man. A woman, yeah, you could probably get away with this, but this would be a light dinner. Now, all of these are all different flavors. This is actually a cereal, apple cinnamon cereal. Let's see, let me flip this around. You got lasagna, strawberry granola crunch, teriyaki chicken and rice, noodles and beef, chili mac and cheese. Ooh, I mean, great flavors, right? Pasta Alfredo. This is these are beautiful little packaged meals here. But my point to showing you this is when you get these, or when you're assessing what you need to get, you want to make sure you have enough servings for what you feel you're going to be content with. I'm going to show you something. I don't know what one it is. I think it's this one. Now, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to pull this down here because I did open one of these Augason Farm ones down here. And I want to show you what these look like. Now, you saw, I think this is the one I opened. Maybe this isn't the one I opened. Oh, it isn't what I opened. You saw just a minute ago, I opened the readywise packs. I'm going to have to stand up and get some leverage here, guys. These things are hard to open. If I can even get this open. Okay. You guys saw the readywise packs that I had the beautiful artwork or on the packaging, right? Now, this was a surprise to me because I was used to seeing these all the time. Now I'm opening up an Augason Farms breakfast pack, right? Voila! It's all white. It's just this plain old white, boring, right? Now, this is actually maple and brown sugar, okay? Now, if we look at this one, I'm going to read on the back of this here. This breakfast emergency supply kit has 2 pouches of 6-grain cereal with bananas, 3 pouches of maple brown sugar oatmeal, 2 pouches of banana chips, 4 pouches of buttermilk pancake mix, 3 pouches of Morning Moo's milk alternative, and 3 pouches of strawberry flavored creamy wheat. Now, I mean, you can see all of these are just stuffed in here. Now, couple things I'm going to mention here. By me opening this kit, which was, I think I opened this 6 months ago when I got this, I just killed about 5 years, they say, of shelf life on it. I kid you not. I read that. I read that earlier, I don't know. But apparently when you pull that seal off, you're going to kill some shelf life on these. Who knows? I mean, but again, I'm sure they're probably still good in 25 years, who knows? But just to keep that in mind, I did read that once. So these are, now let's get to this, because now this is, now I could go through here and show you all these, but this is a different, this is, you can, the next thing I want to talk about is you can buy emergency kits in the number of days, like we talked about. This Augason Farms showed, 72-hour kit for 1 person, for 2 people, for 3 people. Or you can go 2-week emergency kit for 1 person, 2 person, 4 people. I mean, you can literally customize these things for what you want. Then you can also buy them by the type of meal, like we said, like I'm showing you here, Augason Farms breakfast, right? This is just breakfast meals. So if I bought this, I'll know that I have, now this is breakfast, 162 servings. So technically, if this is just breakfast, I would think, it says 20,000 calories, by the way. That's a lot of calories. So breakfast is probably the lightest meal of the day for me. I don't know about you guys, but that's a lot of calories. This would last me a pretty good deal of time. You figure if you have one of these packages a day, I mean, this could last you 6 months, right? I mean, the calories on these, amount per serving, servings per container. Oh yeah. Well, it's actually, yeah. It's actually one of those packages of that maple brown sugar that I showed you is 120 amount per serving. There's 120 per serving, and the serving size is 1/4 cup. So depending on which one of these you eat, this will last you quite a long time. So you can buy these as food, entrees, lunches, dinners, whatever you want. Now here's an interesting one, nice and light. Check this one out. Augason Farms freeze-dried dehydrated fruit. That brings me to the next point. Try to get as much variety as you can, because think about it. If you're stuck in a situation, if you're in a house or you're stuck in, let's say we have martial law because of this pandemic, or you know, you're out, I don't know. I mean, nobody knows what's going to happen. That's where we're all prepping, right? If you're stuck without food, literally without food, for 6 months, God forbid a year, right? You better have some variety, or else you're gonna get really, really, really tired of it. I call it food boredom. I actually wrote a little bit on that, food boredom, because that would be really tough to eat the same thing all the time. Food boredom, not only different varieties of freeze-dried food is what I'm talking about, but more importantly, I'm talking about getting different types of food in your diet. Can you imagine what would happen to your digestive system if you continue to eat freeze-dried food for 6 months to a year straight? Right? These are the little nuances you'll start thinking about as you start getting into prepping, and if you're new, or maybe you're not new, maybe you've been doing this, but you're like, wow, I never really thought about that. That's why not only do you stock up on freeze-dried food, don't just like buy like 6 months or a year's worth for your supply and say, for your family, and say, I'm done, right? Don't do that. You need canned food, like canned fruits and vegetables is a great way to mix up your diet. MREs, I've done tons of articles and a bunch of some YouTube videos on MREs. Use those. Ration bars, food ration bars like Daytrix and Maydays and SOS. Another great way to supplement your diet. Is it the best food in the world? No, but remember, you have to remember, there's one thing that just makes me laugh so hard when I talk about survival food, because I'm geeking out more and more on it as I get into this. It cracks me up to see all the people that are like, oh, do you have this in vegan variety? Or, oh, you know, is there a low fat version? Or, oh, is there, you know, low sodium? No, guys, no, you're dying, right? You're dying. What the heck matters if you're not gonna make it for, you know, this stuff is built and designed so that you survive. Your body gets all the nutrients. The other thing you don't think about, and this is the other thing I want to talk about with survival food, is that when you're in a survival situation, you're probably going to be expending a lot more energy every single day. There's no more sitting on the couch watching Netflix or on your phone, you know, on Facebook, scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is you do, or we all do. I mean, I'm guilty of it too, but it's YouTube for me. But anyways, we're going to either be out there, we might be out there walking, hiking, trying to get to the next location safe before dark. We may be cutting wood to build fires. We may be having to build shelter. We may be having to go out and try to find food. I mean, you don't know. So the more sugar, the more energy, all that kind of stuff, you're going to need it. So just keep that in mind. Calories are going to be so precious during a survival situation. And I can't stress that enough. So, okay, next topic. How do these things taste? Well, they're actually, I'm just going to tell you this. I'm probably going to do a taste test really shortly, because I want to taste these guys over here. These, because I just got these. These are new. Well, they're not new, but these flavors look amazing. I've eaten a million of these over my life. Because like I said, I camp and fish and hike and all that stuff, and they're wonderful. I mean, some of these things are like so good that you're just like, oh, you know, you want to eat a bunch of them. You know, all you do is add water. You get your little jet boil. I don't have a jet boil with me, or else I'd show you. But it's that little thing. I'll put I'll put a link below in this video, because you gotta have a jet boil. If you don't have a jet boil, this isn't gonna help. Well, depending on the situation. But if you're out in the wilderness and you don't have a jet boil is just a little like propane heater, and you can put some water in it and you boil the water, and then you just boop. These are all designed to, you just, you crack one of these open, you open this, and then you pour the water in, boom, it's done, right? So you gotta have a jet boil. So anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so they taste excellent, excellent, excellent. Don't ever worry about the taste on these things. I'm looking at my list here. One of the things that you'll also notice, I'm going to put this down here since we talked about dehydrated fruit. Here's my breakfast, and I'm going to go back over here in a second. Augason Farms also makes these number 10 cans, which is great. Okay, this one's kind of cute. I'm a big milk lover. They make this, Augason Farms make this, it's called Moo, Morning Moo, right? It's powdered milk. When you look, and again, I've got down below, I've got some related topics on this food. There's an article that I wrote called 24 Foods That Last Forever, and powdered milk is one of those things that lasts forever. And as you can see, it's in this nice can, and all you do with powdered milk is you just add warm water or cold water, whatever you want to do, but that's it. Everything that you see, all this emergency food, either only requires water or you just eat it. Like MREs, you just add water. Emergency ration bars, you just eat it. No water required. All this stuff, you just add water. That's the convenience of it, and that's what it's designed to do. It's designed for emergency purposes. So anyways, these number 10 cans are very, very cool. Love my Moo milk. I hope I never have to have that. I've got sugar. Sugar is one of those things that you always want to have on hand. It lasts forever. I will never open this. I've got a bunch. And then scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs and my iodized salt. These are some big things that I don't think I could live without if we were in a food shortage, but so I bought some, and I do have some more on the way. I'm constantly, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about supply and how to go about storing this. It's not storing, but accumulating and prepping and getting this food, because here's the thing. Here's the fact. Right now we're in a pandemic, so you're experiencing these companies like Augason Farms and readywise are absolutely inundated and selling. They can't keep these things in stock, right? readywise is probably my favorite company, and I can't get what I want quick enough. So you just heard me mention, and I kind of stopped, but I've got some more orders on back order from this company for food, because what I try to do personally is I try to buy one of these a month. So you got to do it. So if you're the kind of person that wants to prep for 6 months and you got 4 people, well, every month maybe buy, one something, a breakfast, and then buy an entree, and then buy some dried fruit, and then buy, you just have to take it at your pace and in reality at your budget, because this stuff, let's talk about the real stuff, guys. This is not cheap. This is not cheap. Usually these buckets over $100, no problem, over $100. But if you really break it down per serving, it's the same as if you were to go, go to McDonald's or something, pay for a Big Mac, right? And it's like, I don't know, 4, I don't know what it is. I haven't done the math. Maybe that's a good post I should do. But it's just that you're buying in quantity and you're getting it all in one, big shot. So of course it's going to be $100 and some odd. But once you get it done, once you get it, prepped, and you feel, you've got it stored, then you feel good about it, and you can move on to maybe getting a canned food, getting a bunch of canned food. But again, make sure you have variety. The other thing I was going to mention, storing this, I said it just a minute ago. Store these in a cool, dark, dry place. I have these in my bottom of my closet. It's dark. I hardly ever open the closet. I just keep these in there. That's just the best way to do it. Whenever you're talking about food storage, one of the main killers is light. You don't want, like if you're storing rice long term, or beans, you know, you got to keep those things in cool, dark places. So it's the same thing for this kind of stuff. You just want to extend that shelf life. Again, there's factors here. The manufacturers on these buckets will tell you that they will last 25 years, but if you do, you know, you got to make sure that you don't open the seal like I did. Don't break that seal. I know it's kind of like, it's so exciting. You got your first food bucket and you want to open it, but boom, there goes 5 years, right? And you might not have even thought of that. Well, I knew that was going to happen. So now I only got 20 years out of this instead of 25, whatever. Okay. Hopefully maybe I'll try to eat it. Maybe I'll do some taste tests on my Augason Farms bucket later on down the road. But anyways, so I hope this gives you a little bit better idea of these freeze-dried foods. Again, I would say if you ask me personally what I like, readywise is probably my favorite freeze-dried food, and just because of the sheer flavor. Okay, everybody's going to be different. Okay, there is no, I've seen those questions too. Well, what is the best freeze-dried food company? And you know what, guys, honestly, I would say there's not really a best one. What I would do if I was you, and this is what I did so that I can tell you what I'm telling you now, is I went and bought a bunch of like these single servings. I think you can go and buy a lot of these in single servings. I'll try to find you those because sometimes you can't. This one here, I would highly recommend you buy this one, and I'll put the link below. This one here gives you a lot of different variety. And this was only like 50 bucks or 60 bucks or something. And I got 10, is there 10 in here? Yeah, but instead of buying a whole kit for 130 bucks, this was only 50 bucks, and I got to try a lot of different flavors. You see what I'm saying? A lot of them have these smaller kits, or even single servings. I say that because it is kind of tough to find single servings with these kits, because I want you to buy the whole thing usually. But I'll try to do that. I will do that below this video. I'm going to go through and put some links and find as many single servings as I can for you guys, so that you can try them. And I'll put a link to this and some of these other things. So, but again, I just wanted to just kind of do a general video on emergency food kits, because they are such a popular food item in when you're prepping, and for very good reason. They're awesome. I love them. I got a lot myself, you can see, and there's a lot more in my closet that's not out here because I didn't want to take the time and energy to pull them all out here. But you know, I've got about a year's worth of supply for myself, and I feel good about that. But then, you know, there's on to other things, like I said. So anyways, if you have questions or anything for me, please post them below. I'll get to them as soon as I can. I'm checking this channel every day. I get notices all the time. Other than that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe below. And thanks for staying tuned, and we'll see you next time. And if that didn't go, I'm going to be pissed.